What is the Sinisterhood live show like? You're about to hear one. We recorded this episode at Moon Tower just for laughs in Austin, Texas, and had a great time.
So much fun, we actually forgot how math works. It turns out 1,700 times 2 is not 2,400. Whoops. But if you want to be part of our live show fun, head to Sinisterhood.com/live shows and get tickets for a show near you. We're headed to 15 cities throughout the summer.
We'll come to your city, choose a local topic, and perform an episode of Sinisterhood for you live. We'll even throw in a fun bonus segment at the end where we hear from you in the audience.
Tickets are on sale now. For all the details, including dates, times, venues, and more, head to Sinisterhood.com/live shows.
That's Sinisterhood.com/live shows. See you on the road.
Beneath the lush live oak trees in beautiful Austin, Texas, lies a temptation that has captured the hearts of men for centuries. Buried under the dirt and grass lies a trove of riches beyond any of our wildest dreams. But such treasures come at a price, and some men, driven wild by greed, have paid the ultimate price. Tonight's episode is The Shoal Creek Buried Treasure.
A bump in the night, your heart fills with dread, probably a murderer who wants you dead. It could be a ghost, a demon, or worse. Perhaps you're the victim of a witch's curse. It's hopeless, you're doomed. You'd call a priest if you could. You'd rather just listen to Sinisterhood.
How y'all feeling tonight? Good? How you feel about this beautiful theater you're in? This is their soft opening weekend. They are crushing it. Give them a round of applause. Yes. Thank you, Parrish, for having us.
Yes, thank you. Also, thank you. They're not a sponsor yet, but Liquid Death, Murder Your Thirst. We felt like this was very on brand, so it's water. But it's the most badass water I've ever seen.
I don't drink Miller Lite Tall Boys, but I feel like I can pretend like I'm drinking a Miller Lite Tall Boy and get hydrated, so win-win.
All a win. How are y'all enjoying the festival so far?
Just woo!
Yeah. Some of you may have just bought tickets to our show, and thank you so much for that.
Thank you. How many of you got drugged here by a friend and you never listened before? There we go. Yeah, we got some unwilling participants in the audience. My favorite. Well, because I like to be right, I want the person that brought you to be right, so we'll crush it for y'all.
Oh, yeah, no pressure. Yes, yeah. Sweet. Well, we visited this site today.
We did.
And what did we have with us, Heather? We brought with us from Dallas
a metal detector.
A big metal detector.
Just like goes on your arm all the way down. We had to take it apart to fit it in the back of Chrissy's Tiguan, which we drove from Dallas. And we went to Shoal Creek. And
beautiful park. Pease Park, yeah.
Yes, and we...
Pleased to meet you.
You say that when you walk in, and they go, "You're not from around here." And they push you in the creek. They know that. But we used it. We found some treasure.
We did find some treasure. Someone else had been down there celebrating some treasure, and we found the remnants of their treasure.
I don't know if I know exactly what a whippet is, but I learned about it when I was like 10 on, I think, the Blues Brothers movie. So somebody was doing whippets in the creek, and they left the canisters behind. We found those, and I think our friendship is truly the treasure.
Yeah, that was the treasure that we found along the way.
Trying to go down those steep-ass stairs with our old knees.
Yeah,
it was great.
It was the whole sight. But there's rumors that there's a lot more than just nitrous cans down there. Buried gold, perhaps?
Mm-hmm.
So
Millions.
we're going to get into all that tonight and more.
Remember what you got to do.
Introduce myself?
Yeah.
Y'all know that Heather has to have everything the same, so we have to keep it exactly, even though I'm pretty sure all but like 2 of you know who we are. But I'm Christy.
I'm Heather.
And let's get into it. We're all familiar with the old adage,
everything's bigger in Texas.
From the state fair to college football to big hair and big trucks to the literal size of our state, the second biggest in the nation. It should come as no surprise then that Texas is home to more buried treasure than anywhere else in the United States. Texas Hill Country Magazine reports an estimated $340 million in treasure is buried across the Lone Star State. What are we all doing here
That's what I
right
was like,
now? Why are we out there with our metal detectors?
We got the Tiguan, we got the metal detector. All of us
go.
together can't be wrong.
We have a tiny little garden shovel. It won't get us far. These riches are spread across 229 different sites. Legend has it, one of those sites is right here in Austin, buried along the banks of the beautiful Shoal Creek.
It was, we saw a guy at Shoal Creek. We thought he was vomiting.
He
wasn't.
taking a picture of the ground.
That's how beautiful Shoal
But
Creek
in
is.
Dallas, nobody's taking pictures of the ground because it's just trash. So if you're bent over, you're throwing up.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he must be puking. That's what we do in our park. Oh, no, it's a photo. He's taking a photo. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, our creeks are just filled with trash. And
No.
Shoal Creek, I didn't see one piece of trash.
No, it was
Except for us.
the Whippet
we
cans.
were down there.
Yeah,
I guess the Whippet can too, but it was small.
Those were not our Whippet cans, I guarantee you. Yeah.
The outlaw, my page jumped. One of the most famous origins of the treasure dates back to the 1830s, when troops from Mexico made their camps along the creek. As the story goes, what would amount to $3 million in today's money that was to be used for the troops' payroll was stolen by renegade soldiers, the paymaster, a general, and 7 privates, according to Legends of America. When the thieves arrived at the spot where they were to bury the treasure, the greed of claiming it all became too much, and 2 of the privates murdered the other men. It didn't take long for the remaining 2 to duel.
There it is.
Yeah, we all saw that coming. Leaving just one man to reap the ill-gotten gains. He buried the treasure and drew a map where the riches could be found. Buried 5 feet underground near an oak tree marked with the carvings of 2 eagles' wings.
So I don't think it will surprise you to learn that I walked in the park for 4.5 minutes and was like, we're not going to find the tree, let's just go to the creek. But kudos to these folks for not only, they picked a spot, they worked together to an extent, and then buried the treasure.
You get your helpers to help you, and then it's, that's just everything.
It's the pirate way.
He's here. We got him today in Italy, Texas.
Italy.
It is not Italy, and if you say Italy, they will know you're not from there.
She said that to us. I said, this may be a stupid question, but where am I right now? And she said, we're in Italy, but don't say it like that. I was like,
we thought he was very appropriate for tonight's topic. I have a stupid question.
Please.
It might be. I don't understand when it comes to treasure, why people bury it and don't just take it with them right then.
Because it's very heavy.
But you're gonna have to come back at some point to get it. You're just delaying the inevitable.
I think we're going to move back to this because, as you know, I believe the banking system is collapsing right now. That is based solely on the one time I tried to go to the bank and get cash to tip the wedding vendors, and the banker told me, we don't have cash in this bank. And I was like, what do you do here?
It's your only job.
No, and there was a lot of people in a lot of cubicles, and I was like, money is your job. And they go, we're not here, you got to drive around the block. But back in the day, they didn't have banks, so I think the ground was their bank.
If you've killed 6 other men,
It's hardcore.
then, you've done the hard part. Get your money and go.
You know what? It's hard to, if you had 6 friends to help you carry it and you killed them, you look at the bodies and you go, son of a bitch, I got to carry this on myself.
That was karma.
I didn't think this shit through. Yeah, well, now you know. Don't kill your comrades in arms.
Until you get to your destination. You carry it to the final place.
Then you slash the
Then
throats.
it's done so. Yeah.
Done.
Well, this outlaw returned to Mexico, intending to come back for his loot. However, when the time came, he was unable to cross back into Texas, leaving millions of dollars worth of gold and silver bars buried beneath the dirt.
What a fucking rub.
This is why you take it when you. It's like it's like see a need, meet a need.
True.
Like you do it right then when it needs to be done. If you see laundry on your floor, just pick it up right then.
No,
Don't wait.
No, I don't. It's my house is covered in garbage and strewn about. It looks like it's been ransacked, which I don't even get to set the alarm.
Like who?
Somebody comes to rob me.
No, and I just live here. This
is how I live. But I think at least take a part of it, because otherwise now you put all your eggs in one dirt pile. And then you go back to Mexico and you're like, listen, I'm rich. And it's like, oh, really? Can we go do stuff? It's like, about that. No. So, yeah, you done goofed.
Other historians believe the Shoal Creek treasure actually belonged to wealthy members of the Confederacy who buried the gold during the Civil War in order to keep it out of the hands of Union troops. According to this version of the legend, the treasure was closer to $80,000 in today's money and was made up of gold coins.
Well, I'm glad they lost their money, so fuck them.
Yeah. I heard somebody go, oof. It's like, still we oof that.
Yeah, let's oof it.
I did look up when the Civil War was, and it was 1861 to 1865. Yes, I am 43, and I did not know that until the other night. What did Tommy say today? He criticized me today not knowing?
You go, there's no gravity on the moon. He's like, there's some gravity.
No, that already happened. What did he say today at lunch? And I was like, sorry I didn't go to Mesquite Public School System where I know.
I can't remember. You correct us on so many things. So.
Oh, man. I don't
Tommy
remember
is our personal Wikipedia. Just a walk-in trove.
Tommypedia. Whatever the source of the gold, hunting for it reached a fever pitch just before the turn of the century. People from far and wide traveled to the Lone Star State in hopes of striking it rich.
Also called 2022.
Yeah. Try buying a house in Dallas right now.
Or anywhere in Texas.
Not happening. One particular stranger that appeared in Austin in 1894, described by the Austin Daily Statesman as a Spaniard from Mexico, was in town visiting a small group of close friends. He told those friends that way back before Texas became a state in 1845, some gold had been left behind in the area. Specifically,
in the center of a triangle formed by 3 trees, located in the valley of the creek that runs through Pease Park, below the old Neal place.
The treasure could be found
under a rock pile in the center of this triangle.
Before heading back home, the visitor marked a spot on the map for his friends to go and find. Why isn't he finding it? Nobody knows how to hunt treasure.
He's like, I can't. Also, the Neal place, that's their house. You can't go digging at someone's backyard.
Well, what if you knock on the door and you're like, I'll split what I find with you?
I think that's what happens later. Teaser.
If somebody knocked on your door and said, I have a sneaking suspicion that there's gold buried in your backyard. If you let me dig it up, you can have half.
Yeah.
You're letting a stranger come dig a bunch of holes in your backyard?
My yard's garbage, like the rest of my house.
I'm like, if you can get past the pig, you're welcome to it. Right. It's probably under her house. Good luck. She's like already eaten it.
She's the final boss. You're like...
Yeah, good luck. I'm like, you can have all of it if you get past her.
I give up.
You earned it, man. Around that same time, another Austin resident was abruptly woken one night in his home near Pease Park. His sleep had been disturbed by the peck-peck of a pick in the ground. He decided to get up and investigate the source of the sound and found 3 men digging in the park in complete darkness. The only light was from one small lantern. The man stayed silent so the fellows wielding the pickaxes wouldn't notice him. He watched until they finished, covered up their spot, and left. The next morning, fearing the trio had buried a murder victim, the man told his boss. His boss then called the police. The cops found nothing, but soon rumors were abound that the 3 men weren't burying anyone, but were rather trying to dig something up.
If you get awoken in the night by the picks of an axe, go under your covers, stay the fuck inside.
Yeah.
It's not your business. How about it's not your business what's going on in the park?
Whatever's going on, I don't need to know about.
You're ratting everybody else out, and this unravels the entire town.
This is right out of the burbs.
Yes.
When Tom Hanks sees his neighbors digging in the back seat or the backyard,
mind your
business.
And
then, it all goes downhill from there.
There you go. Mind your business.
Word spread of the loot buried between the crees beside the creek. Every person who knew seemed to swear a friend or neighbor to secrecy, but then share the story. Then that person would tell someone else. Soon, about 24 men knew of the treasure and began forming small groups to hunt together.
2 things here. Don't tell anyone. It's a secret, although I guess that's the fun of a secret. And also, we know what happens when people hunt for treasure in groups. Throats get slashed.
Yeah. Also, never once was a woman mentioned in any of these stories. And I'll tell you right now, it wouldn't have taken a group of us to find it. You used to get one woman out there, she's like, yeah, I got this. Now I'm going to go back and split with my friends that I didn't kill because women support women.
0 throat slash.
One of the earliest groups developed a cunning plan. Rather than aimlessly dig around, they decided their target would be the family in possession of the Spaniard visitor's map. The Austin American-Statesman reported that the group sent
a most acceptable young man
to court the family's beautiful daughter. Once he secured her heart, he planned to secure the map. The acceptable young man got a budget from his group to woo the young lady. Over the course of their dates, he spent as much as $50 per night, the equivalent to $1,700 in today's dollars, on candy and other refreshments for the girl. Fuck yes.
Genius.
$1,700 in candy?
Genius. She's like, I have to think really hard.
I think it's buried between a tree, 2 trees. I don't know. Maybe we should go to the candy store, get $1,700 on candy. It would be hard for me to do that. And other refreshments. It wouldn't be hard. Supermarket sweep style, you can just go into a candy store with $1,700.
I'm not going to the sweet factory at Town East Mall and like putting my mouth into the M&M thing. You gotta go to the high dollar. This is gonna
like
be
Ghirardelli.
This is in the 1800s.
Godiva?
There's a man in a top hat with a mustache that's twisted up at the end, and he's got a cart and he's selling tonics and elixirs, and that's where you gotta get your guy to take you and be like, I'm gonna need some more of that elixir to talk about this map. And the acceptable young man's like, okay.
Yeah.
This girl's great. She didn't, and if, pardon me, she didn't have to put out. Like,
not that we've heard.
I mean, she could if she wanted to, but it's not like an obligation. The $1,700, like the idea is that you get the map.
His plan did not work. After having spent so much time trying to pry the information out of this woman to no avail, the group gave up on trying to woo her. Instead, they headed to the creek and decided to find it the old-fashioned way, digging around. Upon their arrival to the creek bank, they were dismayed to find they were too late. While they were busy spending time and money trying to get the map, other men were already out there digging around the clock, sometimes to exhaustion. One searcher dug for so long that the paper reported,
he was finally sent to the asylum.
Why are you here, sir? I dug my way to insanity. Even if she only went out twice with him, that's $2,400 in candy and refreshments. And then she said,
she was like, you know what?
I'm not giving it up.
The map's real faded. I don't know what happened. We lost it. Yeah. And then they go like, people have been looking? We didn't even think of that. You're like, also, you're a group. While he's out gallivanting,
right?
You could have done.
Multitask.
They were like, he'll get it. He'll bring the map. She'll put out. And you're like, no, she won't. In your face.
To stay awake during their marathon digs, the searchers guzzled pints of whiskey. In their excitement to keep anyone else from the loot, some overeager searchers dug up and burned down the trees that supposedly stood as markers for the treasure. Soon the area around the creek had been
torn topsy-turvy for 3 miles or more.
In the frenzied search. News reports at the time warned of the potential harm in searching for the treasure, saying,
it's making maniacs out of the sensible men. Many of Austin's prominent men have been mixed up in the futile search for hidden wealth.
I have not dug for treasure, but I have drank a ton of whiskey in my days. And that's not the way you stay awake.
No! That's what the old newspaper was like, they guzzled pints of whiskey and it failed and was futile. I'm like, was whiskey just invented then? Like, I feel like it was around before that.
Are you thinking of Red Bull? What happened? Yeah.
Also, they're like, all these sensible men are turning into maniacs. Here, put it this way. You tell your wife, babe, this is for the family. All right, this treasure's gonna change our lives. She's like, what do you guys do out there? We work so hard.
Why do you smell like whiskey?
So that's the juice. It's a go-go juice. We gotta go. It's like, that's all you're doing is just going and wasting.
Like, I got drunk and burned down a tree. I'm sorry.
Yeah, why do you smell like fire? I had to do it for the family.
Colonel L.J. Dupree, former editor of the Austin American-Statesman, supposedly had his own map,
Musty with age,
that showed the treasure a little further away, on the banks of the Brazos River, near the Nashville Ford in present-day Milam County. According to the newspaper, the treasure was near some guns that could be seen buried with their barrels sticking up out of the dirt near the riverbank. By the time the colonel got down to hunt for himself, he was out of luck. He surmised, based on the flooding of the basin, that the treasure had been washed away for good. There was no report whether the guns remained.
I bet they didn't, because people were like going down the river and giving out free guns.
What about when the water's high and you know, like when you're in a lake and you're like, what was that? And like, the last time I was in a lake, I stubbed my toe on a metal pipe that was running down.
No.
It was, oh man. I've been on a tangent lately about lakes because 3 bodies have been found in the lake by our house in the past 2 weeks.
Yes.
Hasn't been good, so I'm on a tangent about lakes right now. But yeah, you're just like up about, and then all of a sudden you're like, what is that, a cat tail?
No.
And you're like, no, it's a fucking rifle that's just sticking up out of the mud.
But you're asking why people bury their treasure. If they got to do it gun style, just leave a hunk of it sticking out and you know where it's at. You won't find it later.
Also, I'd be intimidated. I'm like, are these booby trapped? I'm not gonna go over there. Surely someone wouldn't just stick a bushel of guns up out of the mud.
That's what you call a collections of bushel.
A bushel of guns.
Yeah, come on down to Gun City, get you a bushel of guns.
This is also how you get real renegade fish. Fish are down there, and then you can get fish gangs. They learn how to use a gun. It's over.
They develop.
We can't control that. You know how much, there's like a lot of water on the planet. Like, most of it is water.
It's a big percentage.
If sea creatures and those in ponds and lakes suddenly learn how to weaponize,
we're done so.
What are we gonna do?
If cephalopods get a hold of rifles,
oh my God,
humanity is gone.
They can hold 8 at one time. They can take out a whole room. Behind them? Fuck. Man, how has this not been made into a movie?
We have a Megalodon movie. We have the fucking Sharknado. We need to have Octogun or something.
Octogun?
Octo Rifle? We gotta workshop the name.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the names we've coming up with so far.
Oh,
we'll get there.
Double barrel almost said double barrel.
Something.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there, yeah.
It's like a shower moment. We'll keep on with the show and it'll come up later.
It'll be churning in the back of my head the whole time. Despite no one having any luck, searchers in Austin were not discouraged. Desperate for information, some switched from digging to divination. They found an older gentleman with impaired vision who claimed to have a gift. According to the Austin newspaper, the man claimed that when he walked barefooted over dirt that contained treasure, his feet
would burn like he was stepping on needles. Also, just walking around without your shoes on in a park. It wasn't paved like it is today.
In fact,
back then.
We were walking to the treasure, and you skipped. I go, what's wrong? You go, my foot's burning.
Oh, that's due to a personal problem. I had a little athlete's foot on my left side. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but it happens to the best of us.
But maybe.
Oh God, I got the gift.
Maybe you got the gift.
I thought it was a fungus, and it's the gift. We gotta go back to the creek tonight.
I know. The metal detector didn't go off.
It did not.
We need to use your feet.
This went off.
Yeah, that went off. Yeah.
Damn. I'm glad my podiatrist will be glad to know it's not a fungus.
The magic man was hired and was told to walk up and down the entire area where the treasure may be. After covering nearly the entire 3-mile stretch around Pease Park, he told his employers that he sensed no gold, only water under the dirt. Unsatisfied,
they fired him in disgust and renewed their digging.
The paper described the town as being
under a spell.
The treasure, which according to the news,
harassed men's very souls for 3 years past,
would then claim its first life.
Can I just say it's fucked up? They got that man to walk 3 miles, and because they didn't like the result, they fired him.
I don't think that's how experts work. You can't just hire someone and then they don't give you the answer you want. And you're like, well, you're fired. We're gonna just keep doing what we were doing anyways.
Yeah, that's awful. I bet they didn't pay him either.
No, but you know what? The thing about when you have a gift like this is you don't have to tell someone, ow, my feet are burning right now.
You
like,
just
I
wait.
wouldn't.
No, you wait till they leave.
No, I'm good. They're like, why are you wincing in pain? No reason. Stepped on a bottle cap. It's good. It's fine. And then you go back later with your friend that I'm assuming you befriended, Candy Girl, by now.
Oh, yeah.
I like to think that this is all happening in real time.
Oh, yeah. I said, Candy Girl. That's what that song's about.
What song is that?
Candy Girl.
Who's that?
Somebody knows that song. It's a real song. Thank you.
I don't know that song.
It's a real song.
I believe you. I just don't know it. I don't think you just made up a song called Candy Girl right now.
I could, though, if I wanted to.
I mean, it was only 2 words you made up, so you could have probably. If you'd sang, like, verses of it, I would have been like, damn, that's really good.
Just spitting bars up here.
Candy bars.
Oh, shit.
Thank you. This is a comedy festival, so.
Just throwing some jokes in for you guys.
Just making up some jokes on the spot. The county treasurer for the Austin area at the time was a man named A.J. Dad Jernigan.
Fuck yeah.
I go by Christy Mom Wallace. You don't go by Heather Wife McKinney?
Oh, see, I'm an aunt. I'm a fun aunt.
You're Heather Fun Aunt McKinney.
Yeah,
okay. In his obituary, he was described as
universally liked by all.
A friend to many and with access to the overflowing coffers of the county. Jernigan was the natural choice desperate people turned to for favors. Jernigan, overcome by hope that the legends of the treasure was real, lent money to some treasure hunters in need.
I'm not trying to besmirch Dad's good name because I'm sure he was universally liked by all, but you know what makes you universally liked by all is having a bunch of money and giving it out.
Yeah.
Just
mm-hmm. Especially if you're a dad.
It's true. What a great nickname.
Do you think he had kids?
He did. Yeah, he had
okay.
kids.
And they were like, that'd be more interesting if he didn't. And he was just like a dad to all. He was a dad to Austin. Austin's dad. One was Jim Bridgers, described by reporters as
the king bee of smooth, glib, diplomatic stool pigeons.
The other was Mr. Jernigan's porter, Andrew George, who has no cool thing to describe him, which that's a bummer. He also has 2 first names, but that's a story for another day. Being so hell-bent on finding the treasure had taken a toll on George, who was described in reports as having
eyes that gleamed with lurking suspicion.
The paper summed up the effect of his searching, writing,
his life had been a burden.
Indeed, his obsession made him leery of others. Anytime a stranger would come near George, the Austin newspaper said he would be
filled with a horrible uncertainty.
Damn.
It's also just like good to just walk through life like that, I think.
You just avoid strangers all the time.
You're on the elevator, somebody gets on the elevator, I'm like, what the fuck are you getting on this elevator for?
They're like, the same reason you're on the elevator, ma'am.
What do you think I'm doing on this elevator?
Going to your floor?
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not.
What are you doing on this elevator? Who's on first? Something happened today where you, the guy was trying to pull our car around at the hotel.
Listen, man, he's doing a great job. I just like to always trust but verify.
Paris, go check right now. Go check right now. It's been 7 minutes. They said it'd be 7. Go check right now.
I just said check. You gotta check. Trust but verify.
You gotta check. I was like,
maybe I'm filled with a horrible uncertainty.
Yeah,
maybe I just relate to Andrew George.
I hope your life has not been a burden.
Haven't all of our lives been a burden?
Between October and December of 1896, Jernigan funded unauthorized loans for Bridgers and George's treasure hunt to the tune of over $4,000, more than $150,000 in today's money. That, combined with loans he made to other treasure hunters, totaled over $8,000, or nearly $275,000 today.
He's been giving out, untold sums.
That's a lot of candy.
He was real hopeful.
It's a ton of candy.
So much.
Oh, this is has vibes of those brothers, the Oak Island Treasure.
Oh yeah, they just keep
pumping money into it.
I always want to say Legina, but that's not how you say it.
We did research that when we did have to look that up because we were calling them Legina. But when we did that episode, turns out they don't go by that.
Legina sounds like a lying vagina.
A lion vagina?
Yeah.
A Legina? Yeah.
That's just an observation.
No, yeah, I agree. The county commissioners caught wind of these unauthorized loans. They intended to search Jernigan's office at 10 a.m. on New Year's Eve, 1896, to investigate the claims of the missing money. Some believe Jernigan had stolen the money to purchase a map to the treasure, while others say he invested both the money and his hope in Bridgers and George. Worried about the outcome of their search, Jernigan put a gun to his chest 15 minutes before their arrival and pulled the trigger. The wound did not kill him right away. Yeah, we all were like, oh, yeah. Witnesses and coworkers arrived in his office to see what happened. Doctors told him there was no hope and let him say a few words before dying. He said of the treasure,
I had confidence in it.
Man.
It's rough. Well, the wild thing is that, small town back then, everything was kind of near each other, and the newspaper office was reasonably nearby, or the reporter was just walking by. You hear a gunshot. The reporter that then wrote the story just was in the room, like firsthand, stood
on
there
the scene,
on
reporting.
the scene, yeah, and took notes. So, he had apparently warned George and Bridgers and said, if they close in on me, I'm tapping out, just FYI, and then made good on his promise, but sadly, it didn't go very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Earlier in the day, Jernigan had unlocked the safe containing his ledger that showed where all the lent money had gone to prove he had not taken it for himself. After he was taken home to die, surrounded by family, a county commissioner put the ledger back in the safe and locked it. When officials came to retrieve it the next day, they found the safe locked. No one but dearly departed Jernigan had the combination. To unlock the safe, there was only one man for the job. The paper wrote,
Of course.
they had to call, and this is a real name, Colonel George Assman. Who's gonna bust your safe open if it's not the Assman?
You know, they were
Come
like,
on.
this is a job for the ass man.
And he's like, somebody needs my help. Something needs to be cracked open. It's a job for the ass man. I told y'all it's a comedy festival. We're making jokes.
You got the jokes.
They were right to call upon the ass man. After arriving in just a few minutes, he busted 2 safes.
Wide open.
You know,
That's how
they
he
bust
does it.
everything like this.
Oh,
They're
it's
like, you can just remove the things. Like, that's not how I do it. I'm busting it. You got 2 halves now. You got straight down the middle.
Get away from the ass man. He does things his own way.
The ledger was secured and an accounting was made. All the missing money was insured by bond, so the county didn't lose any of its funds. Yet the search for the treasure continued, even after it had claimed Jernigan's life. It heated up again in 1927, when a giant shaft, more than 12 feet deep, showed up in Austin in the spring of that year.
When a big old shaft shows up, you notice. You notice. You feel it. You feel it.
What? I mean,
You feel it. Feel that shaft.
what are you gonna get after the ass man but a giant shaft? 12-foot shaft. That's his opening act. They should have a 2-person show.
I just am really proud of Ass Man.
Ass Man and the 12-foot shaft. That's another
band name.
We're gonna write that. Oh yeah, that's a good band name. I was gonna say we'll write the octopus killer. Octo killer?
No,
I don't like that either. Okay.
Pistol Puss.
Wait.
There it is. What'd you guys
What'd
say?
you say?
I said Pistol Puss.
Pistol puss?
People might be
I
misled.
don't think people are gonna think, oh, this is an octopus that has guns.
This is safe space. There's no wrong ideas in brainstorming, and Pistol Puss isn't so
No,
off
we'll
the
put it
mark.
on the board. We'll put
Thank
it on
you.
the
Put
board.
it on the board.
There's no wrong suggestions. What?
Coctopus?
Coctopus?
Gloctopus.
Gloctopus is... Gloctopus!
We found it. God, that's good. God.
But Coctopus is also...
That's the porno version.
I think that
Tentacle
movie,
porn.
that's a movie. That's already a movie.
Probably.
Gloctopus.
Ass Man and the Coctopus.
They opened for Donna Laser and the Meat Warlocks.
There you go.
The Rising Star Record reported at the time that 8 men had spent 8 months digging the shaft.
Takes a whole team.
Takes a village. Anytime someone would question what they were up to, they replied that they were working on,
A foundation for a new bridge.
or
The foundation of a fine house.
at night, a guard stood watch over the shaft to keep curious onlookers at bay.
When you get a big old shaft, you got to get somebody to watch it for you. Because people will get in there, try to get in your shaft, try to grab your shaft, try to dig on the shaft on themselves.
Search
You'd be
your
like,
shaft.
no, Team Shaft, and you're not on the Shaft team.
Shaft team, yeah. It appeared that the men eventually found what they were looking for. The paper reported that on the night of April 13th, 1927,
a box was lifted from the square-cut chamber between the rocks. For the next day, the workmen were gone, and the blasting had ceased. Curious throngs soon found the dark tunnel, and with lights discovered traces of the large wooden box that had laid beneath the dirt for more than 60 years.
However, some citizens were skeptical whether they were successful. The owner of the land, identified only as Mr. Martin, told the news,
"If the diggers got any money, I want to know about it and claim my share."
When asked whether he gave them permission to create the shaft or funded the excavation, Mr. Martin would only smile. Creepo?
Dude.
Just answer the question. You're like, did you or did you not?
I don't know.
It's like, what's the joke, Martin?
I don't know. What'd y'all pull out of there? I don't know. Yeah, I really like that curious throngs. People just go, let's go down there. Fuck it, they're gone.
Go.
The guard's gone. We're going in the shaft. Y'all get the lanterns. We're going in the shaft. What's down there? We're gonna find out.
I think we all have found what we're looking for. If you've got a 12-foot shaft that you're dealing with, you don't have to look any further. Actually, kill me. No, it would kill me. So,
what a way to go. Oh, yeah, that's 1927 for you though. Like, what are you doing? Nothing.
Going down the shaft.
Going to the shaft.
Getting my lantern and going down the shaft.
You ain't been down there yet? It's crazy.
Been down there all day. Still, the rumors that the buried treasure had been found spread across the state. The Abilene Reporter News wrote,
"Buried gold of fearful Confederates is found,"
before attributing the news to
a rumor which has spread here.
The key piece of evidence everyone clung to was a square-shaped hole at the bottom of the shaft, showing where the box would have been. Aside from the empty hole and the giant shaft, there was no other evidence that the treasure was gone.
It's all that's left. When you get a 12-foot shaft, there's an empty hole left.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of journalistic integrity in the Abilene Reporter News in 1927. They're like, motherfuckers been saying this shit happened. We're gonna write it, print it. They're like, where did this the source of it?
Edit.
Everybody.
It was a joke. It was a rumor. Martin fucked us again. We've told y'all to stop believing what he's saying.
I don't know.
Currently, the city of Austin does not allow treasure hunting on public land, according to KVUE News. We were just looking. We weren't hunting.
I think we were investigating. We brought shovels, but they stayed in the back of the car because we respect the parks. Although, when we pulled up to the hotel and the very kind gentleman said, "Would you like us to get all of your bags out of the trunk?" And I said, "Yeah, all the bags, but leave the metal detector and all the digging equipment." And he was like, "Oh, what is that for?" And I said, "Oh, it's
Don't
for
you
jokes.
worry about it.
We're doing jokes." And he was like, "Oh, with a shovel?" And it was like, "Yeah, with a shovel." And then we go, "You know what? We'll just get our own bags. It's cool. Don't worry about it." Thanks. Sorry.
Yeah. He wasn't there when we went back.
No,
so.
he's ratting us to the ground.
He's like, "I'm out." However, the station happened to own some land adjacent to the creek. In 2020, KVUE News allowed members of the Austin Metal Detector Club to search the land for any signs of the buried loot. If you are with this club, please just shout out. Is anyone here a member of the Austin Metal Detector Club?
Join. If you want to find treasure, you should join. They have a very sweet Facebook page. And when this article first came out, they posted it and were like, "Great job, guys." And all the comments were like, "You guys did such a good job." And I was like, "I love you guys. You already found treasure and it's each other. You guys are absolute fucking treasures." It is such a supportive crew. I bet they'd let us join.
I would love to. It's like 8 older people, probably in their 70s, and then one really hot young guy.
He's so fucking hot.
Like, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, oh.
I know they're like, "Oh, we found a thing." And he was
We
like,
found
"Oh,
the
yeah."
treasure. You know, those women love him and the men. Everybody loves him.
He's an acceptable young man.
God, he was, yeah. We're like, we'll give you $1,700. You can go find somebody to tell us where this map is.
I'd spend $1,700 on him.
Yeah.
I'm a married woman now.
Yeah.
I can't say that.
Yeah, you can't.
I can, though. I can say that.
The result? One member said,
I found this old piece of iron pipe and an iron plate.
Another member told cameras,
I found 2 fishing weights just like this. They sounded promising, like coins, but it was just fishing weights.
A third member reported,
Aluminum cans were the main thing and a clamp off a hose. Everything else is just trash.
which implies that the cans and the clamp were treasure.
Fuck yes. He was like, they got a fishing weight? Goddamn.
You got an iron plate? Jerry, you found another iron plate for your collection? Yeah, I got another iron plate.
You're gonna have
it's
a whole
like
set.
this big. It's just iron. It's an iron plate.
You can eat. You can serve like a tiny hors d'oeuvre on it.
You could, yeah.
I don't think that's the kind of plate it is. But
yeah,
you know.
it was like a plate that goes over. It's not like an eating plate, but it could be.
Anything is a plate if you
That's
put
true.
food on it.
That is true. The metal detector club was not deterred. A younger member,
The hot one. The hot one. We're
hot
talking
one.
about the hot one. Let's just get it out there.
the only young one who's also hot,
Fuck yes.
told KView,
Every time I dig a hole, I'm thinking, this could be it. Oh my God, he's like optimistic and so hot. He has fucking cool friends that are very supportive.
yeah. And you don't ever have to like worry about where he is because he's either hanging out with a bunch of old people or searching for treasure.
True. He's not out. He's not clubbing. He's
No.
not. They don't let you bring the metal detector in the club.
No.
Till
He'd be
after
going
hours.
off left and right. All that jewelry everywhere. Yeah. The Shoal Creek treasure may never have been found in 1927. After all, the amount buried all those years ago would fill more than a single chest. For those who believe, they may continue the hunt, hopeful that an old map or the whispered secret of an elder will guide their way. For the rest of us, we know even if gold remains buried, the true treasures of Austin are her welcoming landscapes, delicious cuisine, and world-renowned artistic community. Even if the loot is never unearthed, conserving a park on a load of buried gold seems just like another perfect way to keep Austin weird. So what do we think?
Oh man. Well, I respect the city of Austin, and I
Very
am
much
not
so.
going to go.
It's our capital?
It's our capital. I'm not going to go dig up on public land like some monster. But I will say, write your local council member and be like, you guys got a budget shortfall? I don't even know where $340 million is buried, and it's in the park. They have technology nowadays that's more than just my foot fungus that'll tell you there is some good shit up in the park. And you don't have to dig it all up. You can use computers, zap the ground, look under the dirt with the computer laser. They have cars that drive themselves, and you're telling me we gotta dig up dirt to see what's underneath it? I don't think so.
How do we just get a giant laser, scan the whole state of Texas? We got $340 million worth of gold just sitting there.
Boom.
That
could pay
solves
for
our
anything.
housing problem right there. Just dig up all this gold. You'll probably find some oil too.
They already do that with oil. Yeah, so just turn it on gold. What's everyone focusing on oil?
I don't know how lasers and science really works,
okay.
but I
It's
feel
all right.
like we could do this if we wanted.
Lasers, I think, if I may,
Please.
never having taken a formal laser class, but from what I understand, they zap beyond human touch. For instance,
Like if I'm reaching my hand out, the laser can go further than my hand because I knew that.
It can go to space. It can also.
Oh, well, yeah.
Also, like, it's not a secret that my guts are a wreck. They're just a junkyard mess, ruined through anyway. But the doctor, yes, we talked about it, he Chinese finger trapped me, which he said, please stop saying because it sounds unprofessional. Dr. Martin, shout out, have an appointment on Cinco de Mayo.
Sounds
let's do it
unprofessional
again.
for who?
He was
I'm not a professional. What are they?
He's like, it's called an endoscopy and
Butt
colonoscopy.
doctor.
And I was like, it's a Chinese finger trap because we're doing. Are you allowed to say that? I don't know. But that's what they used to call it back in the day. We talked about sex positions as a kid. You look them up on the internet. Angry Dragon. You remember all that?
Angry Dragon?
I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have the internet. It's horrible. It's awful. But 13, 14-year-old Heather looked that kind of stuff up. I was on.
Oh, I bet I know.
We've gone wheels off now. Anyway, I'm sorry for everything.
I bet I know.
Heather's
what it
canceled.
is.
Shut it down. Anyway, my guts, aside from looking in with the cameras up the pooper, and the ass man gets in there. But they can laser beam it. They scanned me. What I'm saying is, he didn't have to penetrate me, and he did, and I appreciate it. But also, MRIs. I was trying to explain MRIs. Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta go. I'm so sorry.
An MRI?
I'm sorry.
I don't think those are lasers.
Fuck.
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
It has to be. Come on. It's a laser. I got it. I'm sorry.
So we get a giant MRI machine that the Earth can just go right through?
Yeah, they can see. They'll
Like
be able
just
to see the gold. If he can see my spleen on the computer screen, you can see gold in the park. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong because I don't know, but your spleen is like a couple inches from where your body.
It's more than a couple inches.
Well, it's not
I got a lot
like feet
going on.
underground.
Well, I don't know, man.
I don't know,
Dirt is not as thick as chub.
What?
Dirt. My chub, I feel like the bits in the middle that protects my body, I feel like that's thicker than dirt. Dirt, you go like this, and my chub, you get one of these. You get to hold of. I'm sorry. Anyway, what do you think?
I don't know. Is the angry dragon where...
Just quiet. Don't tell him. It's fucked up. It's awful.
Is breathing fire involved?
Do you mean semen? Yes.
Okay. All right.
sorry I brought that
in
up.
my head, I've said the worst of it, so this is what I think it is.
Go.
Tell me if I'm right or wrong.
I'm sorry in advance.
Sorry if there's children here. First of all, there
Why?
shouldn't be. That's on you if you brought them. I think the guy is flapping his arms like a dragon.
Yeah.
And then when he's ready to go, fire shoots out onto whoever.
It's filthy.
And then he probably says like, caca, or whatever a dragon says.
You know what? That's what it is now. That's what it is now. Absolutely.
I feel like I'm probably not too far off.
There is a penis involved.
Okay.
So there, yeah.
Yesterday at the dinner table.
Whoa!
Wow, what a segue. Wow. Y'all don't eat dinner with just your genitalia out and everybody's just... I don't know how this even happened, but I think we were talking about fruit and going somewhere, and Ella just started going, "You guys are going to a lemon party."
Oh.
And we were like, "No, we're not." She kept saying it, and Tommy and I were just like, "Oh, this is so funny," because she doesn't know.
She has no idea.
Yeah.
Lemonparty.org. I'm tired of politics. Lemonparty. Don't go there. The internet's a filthy place.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It brings us so much joy and yet ruins
so much horror
the young
at the same
mind.
Time. I think that there's definitely treasure buried in a lot of places, and we just need the technology to find it, or a lot of determined people. Somebody found Forrest Finn's treasure.
Oh, that's true.
After all those years. I mean, they did have clues.
He wrote
we need
a fun
more
book.
Clues.
We got to find the map, the Candy and Refreshment Lady's family's map.
I think that's the key, is we need the map, or just somebody that can go look at every single tree to see if eagle's wings are carved upon it.
I feel like the people burn the trees down.
Oh, yeah, the whiskey drinkers.
That is...
Drunks probably burned it all down. I mean, to be fair, we've all lit a fire after a couple of shots of Jameson, so I can't.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but yeah, I like to think that Texas has the most treasure of any states, and I'll have you know, because I also looked this up, we are not the biggest state. We are the second biggest.
Alaska's the biggest.
We're in the contiguous 48. We are the biggest, but Alaska gets
the contiguous 48.
Contiguous 48.
The contiguous.
Contiguous.
Contentious.
Contentious.
It's contiguous. I thought you said contentious 48, and I was like, yeah, we kind of fight. We fight. We go up to each other. I wouldn't say we're all best friends in the whole US of A.
No, we're yeah. So I think it's impressive that we Alaska is much bigger than us by like a lot, and they didn't get this title. So
Damn,
fuck you, Alaska.
Probably because the ground's too cold to dig into.
Oh, that's probably true. Yeah.
Just freezes.
Simple science. Yeah.
No,
yeah, well,
not here
I
to talk
guess
about.
there's only one way to find out. We got to go back to the creek tonight. You got to be barefoot.
Got to.
And we'll just let you walk around.
You gotta, don't exploit my fungus for our personal gain.
You can exploit anything, any of my things for our personal gain. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, may I say also, the KVUE News, which I'm not here to impugn the integrity of a journalistic organization, which I'm sure is phenomenal. I loved that upon researching the story, they happened to own land where the treasure would be. And I was like, shout out to that reporter. Like, did he figure out, he told the station, like, hey, there's a plot of land. You should buy it. And then that way we can dig it up.
Do you think they bought it just for the story?
Or they didn't really buy it and they just said it was. I'm just saying, or they probably bought it for the story.
Damn. Well, now they've got a little plot of land they can go dig on.
Excavate the motherfucker.
You gotta befriend the hot guy with the metal detector. Get on his good side. Then you gotta get a friend at KVUE News.
Done.
Then you run away with the treasure and take it with you. Don't go bury it in another location once you find it. If you find it, take it.
Take it. Not to the bank, though, because they don't do money anymore. So I thought that that's what their job was, but it isn't. It's to be like, go to the other bank. Get out of here. They don't even have suckers anymore. They go, we don't do that anymore.
That's probably because of COVID.
They were packaged.
Also, most people don't go in the bank. You had to.
I had to.
You were forced out of your car. That's a real crime. You're like, God damn it. I was just going through the drive-thru. I'm in my sweats, and then you had to go in.
I was wearing pants.
I'm talking about myself.
Oh, okay.
If I got roped into that.
Yeah, don't make me get out of my car.
No,
There's a lesson
never.
there. But yeah, no, I think we're gonna find it tonight. We're
Okay.
gonna do it. I didn't bring a metal detector to Austin, Texas for no reason.
True. Or your foot fungus.
Come on now.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming to the show tonight. You've been a great audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much to Moon Tower for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you to Parrish.
Awesome
This
venue.
place is great. Everyone here has been so nice.
Yeah, the festival goes on for a whole nother week, so there's tons of other acts. And also Parrish, this is their soft opening weekend, so come back and see all kinds of shows here.
They've been so good to us, so please
amazing.
be good to them tonight. As always, the devil rules the airwaves.
Keep it creepy.
Thank you guys.